Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new week of the AFK podcast. Today, we have changed things around a little bit. So typically, it is me, Daniel, and Nathan, but this week, Nathan has unfortunately fallen ill. So we've replaced him. Harry, if you'd like to say hello.
Hello, I'm Harry.
This is Harry. He's one of many Harrys we know, and he'll be joining us today and discussing the usual stuff with us. And we have a bit of a special thing on the end, talking about Subnautica 2, as all of us here are Subnautica fans.
Hell yeah.
So tune in for that.
Right.
First off, this week we got gaming news.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that sort of happened in the week was 343 have branded to Halo Studios.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think of that? It's not that big of a thing, but what do we think?
It's good, but it's not the biggest thing that they announced, was it?
No, it wasn't. Halo on Unreal Engine 5, which I think is really good.
Oh yeah, rest in peace. Is it
Great.
Slipstream engine, which Halo Infinite was built on? Lasted a single
No,
Halo
no.
game. So that's good to hear. I mean, it cost them like a hell of a lot of money, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not much of a Halo fan, but yeah, it's good to see games moving on to it, like Subnautica 2 is, and a lot of games are moving on to it now.
yeah, that's just it though. Unreal Engine 5's just like kind of taken the gaming thing by storm since its release because of all the features
Yeah.
it
See,
keeps bringing out.
oh, it'd be even better for the Halo Studios
Mm-hmm.
because now they don't have to work on their engine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've already made it, but like
Yeah, but now apparently
work on
apparently the production of that engine was like such a mess though because like they had so many people on freelance contracts, so pretty much no one knew how to use it properly by the end, and it took up like most of the production time. But now they can focus more on the actual game, and yeah, I mean, Harry, did you play Halo Infinite when it came out?
I didn't play all of it. I just tried it out.
Yeah, what did you think
Not
of it?
particularly a fan.
Yeah.
Not particularly a fan.
I think it was an alright Halo game. Obviously not as good as like likes of 3, Reach,
Yeah,
all
loads
the-
better.
Yeah. But it was better
I
than
much
Halo
prefer
5.
the I much prefer the level-ish style
Yeah.
rather than the open world.
Yeah, I think the open world on Halo, I think it's because of how it's just one continuous biome in the games.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes an open
Yeah, I
world
imagine
quite
it's
boring.
quite jarring going from like mission-based episodes to just a complete open world.
Yeah. Well, I think they did it in the past with, was it Spartan Assault? I want to say. I feel like one of the Spartan Assault games was an open world one or
I
something.
think it might be.
Yeah.
Can't remember. It was a long time ago, that, but
Yeah. But no. I mean, as we'll say, we'll see what happens. There's the popular theory is now that they're switching to Unreal Engine 5, it'll be a Combat Evolved remake, bringing like modern gameplay to the first game, which I wouldn't mind. It'd be a good
Cool.
way to test it
Yeah.
out and see
Yeah.
the changes. But yeah, I think that's Halo.
Yeah, Alien Isolation sequel in development. Now, we don't have much on this,
Mhm.
but it's good to see because I do believe that that it was, not considered for a long time a sequel to the game. I've played bits of it myself. I don't know about you guys, but it is held in quite a high regard.
I'm quite a coward, so I didn't make it very far at all.
I've never
I've
took interest in the Alien games.
I
At
sort of
least.
found the gameplay a bit boring, but I don't think I got far enough into it to actually, properly get into it. So definitely a game I'll revisit in the future.
I've looked into the gameplay. Do you guys know how the AI works in that game for the Alien?
No.
So basically, there's two separate AI.
Got like a. All right. Carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. One knows your location, the other doesn't. The one that knows your location is constantly giving hints to the one that doesn't. So eventually your hiding spaces become less and less effective. You can't stay in one place too long. It's all a really clever system, which really adds to the experience.
That was really good.
Yeah. And that's, when did Alien Isolation release?
Don't know. I'm
Yeah.
going to say like, I don't know actually, maybe 10 years ago. I don't know.
I want
That
to
might
say
be too far.
sometime around 2015 is my guess.
Yeah, something like that.
Isolation. It released in 2014, not far off, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, 10 years later, I wonder how the gameplay would look like on the modern engines and stuff.
I think it'd look really good.
Yeah.
But we do have some unfortunate news this week.
Yeah, you want to talk about this?
Now typically Nathan would talk about this because this, the PS is primarily Nathan's. Like he
Yeah.
plays all the games on there.
Mhm.
But I figured I'd mention it for him, and that's Little Big Planet 3 is getting delisted, so you won't be able to purchase it anymore. Starting October 31st from the PS Store. Now, obviously, physical copies will still remain, so you can still get it through that. But I'm considering actually buying it to at some point in the future 100% it. Because the Little Big Planet games, I didn't grow up on them or anything, but I know they're apparently supposed to be really good. So
Yeah,
I'm considering buying it. So yeah, on October 31st they'll become delisted. So
yeah.
Yeah.
It might be surprising, but I did actually kind of grow up on Little Big Planet. I don't know why. I just used to watch a bunch of it on YouTube when I was younger, when I could. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame. Obviously, I don't have a PlayStation, so I can't play the games. But yeah, watching like YouTube videos of all, it's a shame it's getting delisted, and it kind of, you know how it was popular saying like back when Astrobot released that Astrobot was replacing
Yeah.
Sackboy. Yeah, that is kind of becoming
I think that is
truth.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, so that is a shame.
Unfortunate.
But I think there's a.
I was never a massive massive fan of Little Big Planet, but I did play some of the first one on PS3.
Right,
A decent game.
Yeah, they've been around for a while, so it's sad to see them go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can bring it onto a more positive note next, though.
Yes, the God of War Greek Saga remaster Rumours. Now, I've not played any God of War games. Daniel, I think you've played
I played the
one
2018
of
one,
them.
and I've played part
Yeah.
of Ragnarok.
So this would typically be Nathan's.
Yeah.
Still in Nathan's bit, but this is like the original ones, like on the
Yeah, so
like
it's
original ones,
the original
isn't it?
trilogy, and apparently the other games in between those. There's a rumor that they're all
Right.
getting a modern remaster. So I'm assuming it'd be something similar to like what we've seen with what is it? What's the game franchise? Like kind of like Last of Us. So like
Right.
not building too much on it, keeping it the same, but like graphical overhaul and slight performance and gameplay improvements.
I think that'd be good because I don't know what it is, but I can't really play older games. I don't know. It's just
Yeah, I know.
it feels like there's not enough to them. And I know obviously restrictions of the time and whatnot, but I really struggle to get into older games, especially games with a lot worse graphics. Graphics isn't necessarily a massive thing for me, but them really old games. So it's good that they're doing a remaster. I might play them at some point if they do get remastered. But obviously these are still rumors. So
Yeah, I mean, I would love to play God of War 3. I hear that's really good. And also just see the origins. Well, I know the story of the original three, but it'd be nice to play through them, considering I've played the fourth game and then nothing else. So it would be nice to play them all continuously.
Someone who doesn't play on any, who doesn't play PS4 at all, God of War is one of the few games which I would really like to play, but I can't as a sole Xbox player.
Yeah. So, man,
yeah,
but yeah, it is they are, well, 2018 was a really good game. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, this is big news, well, big good news all around.
yeah. I think the next thing, Daniel, the Hogwarts Legacy. I think you should probably talk about this, considering you're the only one that played it.
It's like, yeah, right. Hogwarts Legacy announced a definitive edition, which will be. I don't actually know if they announced a release date for it, but I have noted down some of the key mentions, which is it will add around 10-15 hours of new content, and apparently be priced at between $20 and $30. So I'm not sure whether that means the actual DLC price or the price as a whole, because the base game is 50 quid last time I checked, so that'd be $60. So I'm assuming that's like the DLC price, which is a bit pricey for 10, 15 hours of content.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, maybe it'll have a reduced price for
It says 2025. I've just searched it up.
okay,
That it'll
right.
come out.
So next year.
So yeah, soon.
I mean, yeah, I'd be happy to see some extra content. Probably not at that price for that much, but we'll see what it adds. Maybe the very much actually no, I don't see how adding Quidditch would work because there's a line in the game.
Yeah.
There's many lines in the game which just are complaining about the Quidditch season being cancelled and stuff. So they'd have to remove a lot of voice lines.
Because Quidditch champions.
Yeah.
What game that was.
I think the only thing I saw on that game was it released and the Hagrid helmet, and that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Give you more news when it comes out in the future. And
Yeah.
I suppose I should probably talk about the next point as well.
Yeah. So this next bit, Daniel, you'll talk about it, but I think this next bit is quite important.
Oh yeah, very important.
In the gaming space altogether.
Yeah, California Law AB 2426. This is a law which has basically deemed it necessary for studios which they just need to or developers, companies, whatever, that distribute games. They now need to notify players whether they are buying the actual game, so the game comes with an installer, you'll be able to install it forever, you own it, or if you're just buying a license to the game. So the big platform which has changed regarding this is Steam. So this actually started a while back. I think the first time I saw it was when I loaded Helldivers up after this law was passed, where Sony had a new EULA, so they had to re-accept it with the new change. But then now, I think from this I think it was from a couple days ago forward, Steam now has a notification when you're purchasing a game to let you know you are buying a license, not the actual game itself. Which is a shame and thing. I would much prefer to be paying these massive prices for something that I will own. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that it's important that it's said that you're not actually buying the game itself.
Yeah.
But I believe it was Ubisoft that's saying that they might revoke the license after a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
If I'm right on that.
I think that was like a year ago.
But thankfully, from stuff I've been seeing, that Ubisoft is going a bit under at the moment. We'll talk about that if there's any significant news. But
yeah,
I think what they've done is good, but I don't think it's going to change loads. In all honesty.
Yeah, I mean GOG, which is it's like a Steam competitor type thing. They kind of snap back with it all because they actually sell installers for games on their platform, I believe. I saw something similar to that.
That's good.
But they just kind of, after Steam had that whole change, they were immediately on the social media kind of thing, from what I've heard. So I'll definitely look into that more. But yeah, I think that covers gaming.
Yeah, I mean, sticking with games, but moving into films now. The Until Dawn film has finished filming, which is good, I suppose. I've not played Until Dawn myself, but I've seen some comparisons from the original and the remaster. A lot of people say I think it's a remaster anyway. A lot of people say the remaster is worse because it adds more stuff or something. Not too bothered. I don't really know how they're going to do this film though, because Until Dawn is a choice-driven game. So will it canonize an ending, or
that's
will it be completely separate stuff? I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the.
I guess we'll see when it comes out.
Looking at the Steam page, it's got mostly positive the reviews of the remake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but no.
I do actually have the game, but I just haven't got around to playing it.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I bought it with Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. I think there was a bundle or something. One of which I've played, but all of which I've seen playthroughs of. So I'm gonna get around to those at some point in the future. But I'm excited to play them.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I've been recommended to play the game, so maybe seeing the movie when it comes out will maybe sway me to buying it. But yeah, we'll see. It's always nice to see games get an adaptation. It just depends. Now this just depends which side of the coin it'll be on. Obviously, we've had
Yeah, hopefully it's good. Yeah,
yeah. It's like we don't want
say
another
this with everything that comes
yeah
out, but
yeah. You either get a Halo show or a Last of Us. There's never an in between.
yeah.
But yeah, right.
But now to some Marvel stuff. Quite a lot of Marvel stuff
Hmm.
this week. Doctor Strange 3 is being directed once again by Sam Raimi,
This time
which I think is
fully.
good. Yeah, Multiverse of Madness. I think it's a solid film.
Hmm.
Definitely one of the better ones of Phase 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not difficult though. But with Denzel Washington cast as Dormammu, I think. Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I really like Denzel Washington. I don't think he's that.
Yeah.
He's not a bad
I do.
actor.
Yeah.
So I think it could be good.
Yeah. Well,
That's pretty much all the news we've got on it though at the
yeah. I
moment.
mean, Sam Raimi having full directing on this now will definitely probably make the production go much smoother.
Mm,
Because obviously, I believe in Multiverse of Madness, there was multiple directors, and then it ultimately ended up being Sam Raimi in the end. So he kind of had to work with
yeah,
what was left over in the amount of time he had with the budget he had left. So yeah, hopefully this will be a more consistent Multiverse Madness because I did really enjoy it. There were a few
yeah,
like meh moments, but overall, yeah. So this
yeah,
could definitely bring the levels up for the third in the trilogy.
yeah. And not only this, but Spider-Man 4 rumors.
Hmm.
So I'll just mention what we've got here. So it's supposedly featuring several symbiotes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I assume we'll see Carnage, Venom, and a few others.
Yeah, maybe
And
Scream.
then yeah, Scream. We've had a lot of symbiote stuff that quite recently. I say quite recently, Spider-Man 2.
Hmm.
That was all Venom and Scream.
Yeah,
And then we have Till Death Do Us Apart, Venom film, which is coming out soon.
I think
That's
it's
all.
called Last Dance. I think they
Or
changed
whatever it's called.
it.
And then we had at the end of No Way Home, which was a few years ago now, but we had the Venom teaser
Hmm.
of Venom being left in the MCU. So I think that's where all this is going towards. So it makes sense that it's also going to be a cosmic narrative, which I know a lot of people want a street level thing.
Yeah.
I'm not super bothered personally, but I guess we'll see when it comes out. And something which I don't know if I'm happy about is that Toby and Andrew will reprise their roles. Well, it's likely they'll reprise their roles as the first and second Spider-Man, respectively.
Yeah.
Live action, of course. So I don't really know much else on it. I've not really seen anything on it.
Yeah, this was all from a
But it's
interview
interesting.
with someone called Alex Perez. So I actually linked the article I read all this on earlier. It's also what the article that Nathan sent earlier in the week as well. But
Right.
yeah, it's all just stuff about all the upcoming Marvel projects, things he's heard and whatnot. Like, 'cause apparently he's works there. Let me actually have a read through. Um, okay, it does not tell us who he is, but I'll find out eventually. But yeah, either way, Nathan sent this, so he obviously thinks it's a trusted source, and he's
Wanted to talk
probably
about it, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, on the Venom stuff, it's also stated that Tom Holland will not be showing up in Venom 3. So the Venom that
Okay.
and symbiotes that appear in the MCU are likely not going to be Tom Hardy's.
Right.
And on the cosmic level stuff, apparently it's still going to be set in New York. So that just makes me think it's just going to be using cosmic type narrative to bring things into the MCU again, similar to the
Yeah,
end of
probably.
No Way Home. But yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
it's a bit of a shame it's not a street level. I was hoping for some like Spider-Man, Daredevil type action, but yeah, I guess if this is all
Yeah.
true, that's shot in the dark now.
Guess we'll see.
Mhm.
Guess we'll see.
Yeah, I'll still
But
watch it.
I think that's all the film news for this week.
Yeah.
We have not much for TV news. There were a couple things, but nothing really super significant. This isn't really super significant in all honesty, but I figured we'd mention it. The
Mhm.
Velma TV show is being cancelled after 2 seasons,
Mhm.
which, from the reviews, seems like the good call.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys have seen anything of it.
Some
I've only
clips,
seen like
but nothing
a
significant.
couple of clips. Never watched an episode.
I watched the first episode when it came out. Was not a fan of it immediately off the bat.
Yeah, it doesn't look very good.
It's so unnecessary, stupid, and does not really like bring anything to the Scooby-Doo table at all. Essentially, you could honestly, if anyone's considering watch it, just don't. There is no point.
Yeah, best advice you could give, just don't.
Yeah, unless you're gonna make like a drinking game out of it or something, don't. But nah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's I think that covers news.
Yeah, that's everything we've got for TV. There were other things, but nothing super significant. A couple things, like a thing on Fallout Season 2, but yeah, nothing significant. So we'll come back to that when there is more news.
Mhm.
But today, Harry is here for, well, a couple of reasons. To fill in for Nathan and to discuss Subnautica 2 with us.
Mhm.
Now, recently, Daniel, you finished Subnautica Below Zero.
Yep, I finished it just a couple nights ago.
The other day, I think the same day that you finished it, I did another playthrough of Subnautica, and Harry, I believe you also started one and then died and it was hardcore, so you lost it. But all of us here are big Subnautica fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes, I did die.
How did you die, Harry? I don't actually know how you did.
I charged drowned. Stuck in a cave. Stupid. 20 minutes playtime.
Oh, like
I've
that's
got another one.
you know way back when we all said we'd speedrun Subnautica. Like it was like a few years
Yeah.
ago. That was exactly
Yeah,
how I
do.
died.
Was it?
Yeah, 20 minutes in the caves in the.
I think I got pretty far with that when we did that. Because I know you finished it in like 6 hours or something stupid like that.
Yeah. Did you see
The run I
how?
did recently, I finished in 4.5.
Yeah.
Which keeps getting
Mental.
faster.
Yeah, I need to try a speedrun again at some point because that was my first and only attempt. But yeah, we're all big fans of the game, though. I think.
Yeah. So, it says discussion of Subnautica and Below Zero. Harry, I don't think you've played all of Below Zero, have you?
No, I'm gonna. I think after we finish filming this, I think I'll go and just install it.
Hell yeah.
I haven't played it for ages.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it.
It's not as good as the first one, but it's not like a terrible game.
Oh yeah.
I still have
Yeah,
like
I've played a bit of it, but then I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did feel that when I played
the
it.
progression
It
of
got
the
a bit
game is
confusing.
nowhere near as good as the first one.
I think it's because there's like 2 storylines going at once.
Yeah.
It can get a bit like
I think the big
confusing.
difference is the missing like radio. Like the radio was such an important tool for like progression and guidance, and that's just taken away. So you've got
they tried to copy that with like the Alan thing, but it didn't really work. I don't think.
Because like towards like the second half, like the early half, it's fine. You're like, oh, find find these 4 artifacts, and that's it. But everything else, you've got to go close to it to discover it. So it's just kind of a go around blindly until you stumble across something. And even then, you don't find everything. I could have probably found like 3 things. I'm not going to say for spoiler sake, but I could have probably found them way sooner if there'd just been like a notification just a little quicker from Alan or something, or like a radio. But yeah. But yeah. Everything else about I really enjoyed the designs of Below Zero's like format.
Oh yeah, that's something they get right every time. I think both times they've made the games, the designs are great, and I've watched the video. It's I don't know what it's called exactly, but it's something like the evolutionary biology of Subnautica, right? And it's super interesting because you can see that the team has really cared about what they're doing, because like the Stalker and then the Reaper have like sort of similar they have like it's quite obvious they had a common ancestor because they sort of have some similar things, similar colours. And if you watch the video, you understand what I mean. I might not be Stalker and Reaper, but there is a sort of evolutionary pattern with all the fish, and with Below Zero, because obviously you got the Peeper, Arctic Peeper, and then all the other stuff. So it is interesting. I do recommend that YouTube video if you.
Yeah, no, if you don't.
I'll try to take a look at that.
And I think the link to the Stalker is the Arctic Stalker in Below Zero. I believe that's what you're on about. Because I think I saw part of that video you're on about, and that was something I just remember like in the back of my head. But yeah,
because you've got the like Peeper as well. Then you got like the Oculus, which is like the jelly shroom version of the Peeper.
Yep.
And then the Arctic Peeper. So yeah, I definitely think they took their time. They took their care with, that, and I think they'll do that for Subnautica 2. But it's technically Subnautica 3.
Yeah.
But we'll just call it Subnautica 2 for the sake of the argument.
I mean, they officially refer to it because Below Zero is a spin-off, essentially. So there will be a Below Zero 2 in the future and such. Because they are essentially two separate games. They just happen to take place on the same planet of 2426b. Or is it 4246b? Whichever one.
4546b.
4546. Okay, yeah, right. I was close enough. But yeah.
I
think
now we discuss that. What we've seen about Subnautica 2.
So obviously we've discussed.
We put it down earlier.
Yeah, I mean we discussed this in a earlier episode of the podcast, like way back when it first came out. All the screenshots and stuff and the Crafton announcement regarding it. But the big thing the community is always hyped about is the screenshots. Some of these have been in developer posts. Others have been found actually in Subnautica through time capsules. So there may very well be more out there that we just haven't discovered yet. But if we go through
I hope
these,
there is,
if we want to go through these one at a time, though, let's go through the first one. I believe the source for this was
I think this was a time capsule, this one.
No, I don't think the first one was. I think it was like an announcement on social media. Let me go check, because this
might have been actually.
Development screenshot revealed in February 8th in a Unknown World social media post, Right. So if we want to actually have a look, we can see a sort of vehicle or drone. I am debating what that could be.
I think it's a vehicle, mainly because of the glass on the front. It looks like some sort of sea truck, sea moth hybrid sort of thing.
Yeah.
My only thing I don't really know.
Look at the fish in comparison to it. Like those are some big ass fish, evidently.
Yeah. I think this will be like this like the safe shallow sort of region of this.
It just has that vibe. Just a nice calm vibe.
Very shallow, very calm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of light as well, which is something that Subnautica in both games I think does quite well with the lighting.
Yeah, in the earlier sections that gets darker, more foggy, the more dangerous it gets. But then there's also the eel shark, I think people are calling it. Just kind of like lurking beneath that archway. Is that a coral archway or just a stone
something
archway?
Like that.
Yeah. But no, so eel shark, that looks to me like it could be what the Stalker is in the first game. Type ending.
I think it's important to note as well, I don't think we said that this isn't set on the same planet the other two games are set on, at least as far as we know. This is a different planet.
Yeah, they said it should take place on a new planet. Which kind of throws my whole theory of it being a Abraxas Prime out the window, but yeah.
I think Abraxas Prime, I think that might get covered through like collectibles and stuff. Maybe not in this game, but if you know what I mean, because it's only mentioned in the first one. I don't think there's any mention of it in the second one. So I think
which game is it that's also like connected to Subnautica? I can't remember.
Oh,
because it's in the same universe.
Oh, is that?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
it was
can't remember what
on
they're
the game.
called. It's also made by Unknown Worlds.
What game is in the same universe? Oh, it's top search. Natural Selection 2.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah, they're both set in the same universe, so perhaps we could see something impressive with that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, they are believed to be in the same universe due to the decrypted riddle mentioning the Kara conflict, which is the virus. Okay.
Right.
Oh,
I
that's
think we should move on to
interesting.
the second picture then,
Yeah,
which I
next
think
picture
you
is
said was
the latest one. It
is
was
the new
released
one. Yeah.
in the 2023 Quadrant 4, or Financial Quadrant 4, for just Unknown Worlds actually. So yeah, this is the latest one. You can tell honestly by the lighting, it looks a lot more refined, which means obviously
Yeah.
they're finalizing their post-processing volumes and such. In
We also
Unreal.
get really up close of this fish.
Yeah, that looks like it could be this
Yeah, it
game's
looks like
keeper.
Yeah.
that looks like a very Subnautica-esque fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's likely going to be the app icon creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the background as well. That sort of like ball thing in the background.
hmm
Uh, yeah, I feel like there'll be a lot of, especially in this shower bit, which we're getting loads of images of, a sort of like a coral reef type deal. There's a lot of little bits you can get into, which open up into like things like that. A lot of arches, a lot of smaller caves which you go into and then lead to a bigger bit. Stuff like that, I think.
Yeah, because one thing I think should be worth mentioning, I can't see a single outcrop in any of these images.
That
So
might just be
Yeah,
yeah,
because
that's
these,
a good point.
early images, but
yeah. So either they might maybe change how resource gathering slightly works in terms of outcrops, or they really blend in a lot more, or that's a later stage of development.
Yeah, I've just thought of this now. What would be really funny? What they've done is they've shown us all these images, right?
hmm
But these are in-game like pictures you can have. So this isn't the actual game we're looking at, but this is like images of another planet in the game.
What to just kind of throw us off completely.
That'd be funny, but annoying at the same time.
Yeah.
I've just realised in that first image, I think it was a mesmer. Am I right? We didn't see that.
A
It looks like a mesmer at least.
It does kind of look reminiscent of
Two,
a.
two mesmers.
Oh, and is it bull
Yes.
eyes?
Darker colour, but
Is it the bull eye in the first game, which also has a similar
is it?
structure to that in the
Oh yeah, good point.
like it has like the
Still,
four
either way,
fins.
it looks like a very similar fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like most of the fishes are reminiscent. Um,
I think what we might see is maybe that some of the fish from that planet were brought here and then over time they've evolved.
yeah.
I mean, personally, I think this
Yeah,
could
maybe.
be, thousands of years in the future on the same planet, but they've just said it's a different planet. I don't know if they would do something like that, but I
This
think
could
it's always
be
possible.
because this could have been. I can't remember what species was called, but the ancient species.
Yeah.
To
Hold
this
on.
planet.
Before we continue, my
Yeah.
Discord's really bugging out, so I'm just going to reconnect to the call, and so can we just
Okay.
can we re-mention after I reconnect?
Shit, so bad, bro.
Okay, right. What were you guys saying before?
Harry.
Yeah, I think this could, because like the correlation between the fishes here could be due to this could be one of the planet's ancient species from 4546b.
Oh, the architects.
They could have travelled to this one. Yeah, the architects. That's it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't
they could
remember.
have brought fish here to see how they interacted with, the other species and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good way, because the architects are a big part of Subnautica in terms of like technology as well.
Oh yeah.
Like in the first game, it was only kind of like the ion stuff, and then like the locations you
Yeah.
could discover. But then in Below Zero, there were actual more like you got a lot more from discovering the artifacts and stuff. You could actually create physical things to help you and such.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would make
I
sense.
definitely think we'll see them again
Yeah,
in
they might
this
just
game.
They might just leave it for below zero too to discover them, and then just introduce
This
them
third image,
completely.
though, which
And
seems to be some sort of creep vine-esque underground, maybe like jelly shroom sort of biome,
yeah,
where it's a bit underwater, but it's not too deep to the point where there's no sunlight. There's not really much in this image besides some dangling feather vines or something. I don't really know.
there's like a weird coral with like kind of like really light tips on the end of each strand as well. If you look,
Yeah,
and then there's
Yeah.
some more of the
Yeah,
pollen.
it could be like there's like the poisonous vines in the first game. I thought maybe it could be something like that. Like you actually do interact with
could
it,
be.
besides it just being foliage.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And obviously we can see the structure of like these kind of like it's like a buttercup
Like,
shape almost, the land.
yeah,
And
Yeah,
then it breaks the
I think
surface.
it's kind of giving me the vibes of like sort of like Office Keens with there's loads of like the
yeah,
little caves,
Mm-hmm.
but won't just be like it's hooded like a hooded forest. So that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah. I
vibe
know
it's
what you
giving
mean.
me. Also, very bioluminescent everywhere,
yeah.
which
Yeah, I
is
think
I
that's
don't know.
something they'll
Is there
do.
something in that in Blow's area? Am I just imagining that
Is there a
sort
biome?
of similar?
There's like a
There,
tree
there
spires
is.
kind of,
Yeah,
but
there's,
honestly,
it's quite a few things.
the one thing I'm hoping this game does better than Below Zero is color, because there's only a few other biomes which are really like more colorful than the others, but a lot of it's just kind of
Mm,
shades of blue.
yeah,
So yeah, that's something
I
I'm
suppose that
hoping.
fits with the Arctic theme, but
Yeah, it gets a bit repetitive compared to the
yeah,
first game, which had like a massive array of color. Because you had like all your
I
reds,
believe.
yellows, greens.
Yeah, I believe this fourth image is one of
The-
the first we got.
yeah, this is like the first time capsule one.
Um, it does look like I don't know. I sort of noticed this in I think the first image, but it looks like there's a bit of land. Um,
Oh yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we're at the
in the
Oh
bottom.
yeah,
bottom
good
left,
point.
there could be some sort of land bit, which it was making me think that this could be like a coral reef next to some sort of beach or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I would quite like for this new game to be there to be a lot more land, even if that meant, say, instead of just the two islands on the first game.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I know in the second game there is loads of land you can explore, but
yeah,
it's just that's a lot more barren.
Yeah. What I'd
yeah. It
Um,
could be. I don't know how difficult this would be to implement, but they could have like, a rising tide. So sometimes the islands are like fully, unsubmerged, they're above land, but then sometimes they're almost fully submerged to the point where almost everything's underwater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, I don't
That'd
think
be
that would be
interesting.
too bad to implement from how I can imagine it.
I'm just trying to think how they'd naturally
At least
kind
not if
of.
they started. All that would be would just well, the ocean goes up, the line for the
Yeah,
ocean goes up, and then uh, objects which are now underwater change.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying to look. Are there any video games which actually have a working tide system? So I don't think I've seen one, so it's not really something we can reference. Hmm. But yeah, no, I mean that would be kind of interesting. What I'd like to see is a splitting of systems. So maybe, so obviously how there's the exterior, interior grow beds,
Mm,
and how the interior is just kind of how you grow all your land crops and stuff. I
yeah,
would I
Mm.
would like it if you could maybe only grow the land crops on land, so they actually have like sunlight and
mm,
stuff. I think that
yeah. It
would
definitely
make,
make the later game harder when you're going
Yeah,
underwater.
yeah, and also just make land a bit more important, because in Below Zero,
Yeah,
there's like 3 moments where you really have to use, well, probably 4 actually moments you have to use land. and that's it.
The amount of land there is as well, it's not.
Yeah.
Whereas in the first Subnautica, the amount of land there is, it makes sense that you need to go to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got the gun and you got the gassy habitat. So
Yeah. And even then, like they're just small, which fits the time it just fits the time you spend. They don't like overextend on the welcome kind of.
I think this next image, this fifth one, is probably the worst image we've got, right?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't reveal anything, in all honesty, besides a floater-esque sort of creature or plant.
Well, I'm thinking this is obviously the same as in the previous image. Like, it's the same thing. What if it's a creature egg?
Yeah, I was just looking at the shape of it now. Like that could be a creature egg of something that's in the first image or something we've not seen yet.
I get the feeling it's something we've not seen yet. So maybe it's a hint to, like kind of like a squid shark type enemy size thing.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just them like really dropping hints and stuff. Because obviously, even though it's called a Leviathan class creature, you can still get its egg in the in below zero. So maybe this is them hinting at one of the bigger creatures we'd be more interested in through an egg. And and that's pretty much all that image shows us, other than maybe a little bit of foliage at the top right. The normal
These are just
mappings,
like devlog leak sort of type videos.
yeah, they've just gone into the devlog, copy and
Yeah.
pasted the image into a time capsule and sent it for players to find.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm noticing though the textures look really good though. Like you can tell like the normal maps.
Yeah, the sand and whatnot.
Yeah, the normal mapping, ambient occlusion.
Are these three all of the same object? Can we assume? Because it looks like it. I mean, the surroundings look similar.
I'm not sure about the sixth.
Somewhat. I think it's the same sort of area, but not.
Yeah.
Maybe not the same thing.
Yeah. But not. But then the final image.
Yeah, this last image is.
I cannot tell what it is.
One, I think.
I can't tell what the focal
thing is.
It
looks like some sort of plant. Or some sort of creature that maybe like, walks on the sea floor, like the sea treaders. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be like almost like a slug, sort of. But it does have like a beak.
Yeah. Because what I originally thought was like type of water coming out the sides of its mouth. That looks like it's just a larger membrane on the center of the creature's back.
Yeah.
Now that I'm looking at it. And
it could be something like Harry covered your ears, but something like that thing, Daniel, where you can go inside of it.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I've seen it before.
Right. Yeah, no, it could be, but it's a bit small.
It could be something like that. Maybe not. Maybe this is like a younger version of one of them, but something like that.
Or maybe it could be kind of a similar, but like the oil jug bugs and water jug bugs in Ark, where you can just interact with them to get some resources.
Oh, so it's like a moving brain column almost.
True.
Yeah. Could be something like that, but as I say,
that'd be interesting.
There's not enough info to tell.
Speculation.
We can only speculate, which is what.
Also, with this image, there's the tree-looking thing on the left with like hooks coming off it. I really like the look of that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm wondering if that could maybe be like a food source, maybe.
Could be
growing in like a way which like you see real life foods and stuff like grow. Kind of gives me like yeah. Or it could just be a light source type plant, which is also nice. Like
okay.
See more of the peep things.
What I'm thinking
is you can see another one of those trees. Is really faint at the bottom right.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. It might not be a light source then, because I feel like that'd glow a little more in the distance.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is, I don't think we've mentioned this either, but this game is multiplayer, or will have a multiplayer version of the game.
Yeah.
So we will probably play it when it comes out.
I'm hoping that's crossplay.
Which is multiplayer Subnautica is something I've wanted since I played the first Subnautica.
Yeah.
And that's something I really want to see. If you guys want to talk about what you want to see and what you don't want to see, I'll be back shortly. I just need to go to the toilet.
Right.
I won't be long.
But yeah. I mean, Right, so we can only really talk about the first Subnautica, me and you, Harry, because you've not played much of Below Zero, but I really hope that the building system stays the same. It probably will, but I've said it before, Subnautica's building system's probably one of my favorite in a survival game, just because of the lack of like there's still a grind obviously, but it's not like a ridiculous amount like most survival games do. And also I just really enjoy building in compartments. Not sure about you. Hello?
Sorry.
Oh, right. I just said that whole thing to myself.
Okay.
Isaac's just gone for a bit, and he's just left us to discuss what we'd like to see in Subnautica 2. I was just talking about how I'm hoping there's no big changes to the building system because I'm a big fan of what it currently is.
Um, no, I agree with that. I think it's, I wouldn't say perfect, but very good how it is.
Yeah.
Um,
I actually enjoy being able to build in like the components type
no,
thing, not having to worry about. I think
yeah,
the reason I enjoy building, like, I don't enjoy building particularly in Minecraft because there is too much freedom, kind of. And I hate having to think about every single thing, whereas this, I can just think, right, I need a compartment there,
yeah.
two
Like
bed.
it's like a very much a preset. You just shove down a room
Yeah.
and then you can put your stuff in it. Not like you have to build every single wall. Yeah,
Yeah, I just get to focus on other things and put a little bit less brain power towards this part. So,
yeah.
and it's also not
Like
as.
you don't try and make your base look particularly great. At
Mhm.
least I don't. Got like, just more because you can't.
Yeah, I'll try and make it look a
But then
little
they,
nice with like plants and stuff.
yeah, because I don't really do that. I think I just put some grow beds on top of one of the buildings, on top of one of the rooms at least, and then nothing really more than that.
Oh damn.
And not have it like not have the rooms how they connect. I don't want like that having. I don't like that being looking weird.
Yeah.
If you sort of know what I
Yeah, no, I
mean.
know what you mean. But yeah, I think
But no,
um but what else would I like
I
to
just want to.
what would you like to see in the sequel, Harry? What's a feature you really think Subnautica needs?
I not necessarily a feature, but I like a big map, a really big map, at least like double the size of the first game,
Yeah.
even if it's going to be multiplayer as well. Like thinking of a good comparison, like maybe three quarters the size of the Arc map,
Oh yeah, yeah.
loads more biomes. I like, especially in the first game, with how you get the same biome like repeating in multiple spots,
Hmm.
and they have various sizes.
Oh yeah.
But then crafting as well. I think could do with like more um crafting areas because you have like the modification table and then you just have a normal fabricator.
Yeah. I mean,
Is there any other ones?
there's the vehicle modification bay thing, console thing, but
Yeah.
in Below Zero, they actually pretty much made no use for that because you can craft vehicle upgrades in the normal fabricator,
Right.
which
Great.
I'm hoping they steer away from that direction because, yeah, I agree. More crafting stations would be a really nice feature and give
Yeah.
more options for just even like
I'd
short.
especially like say if you had like a specific thing you'd use to cook with, and then you can make water and make just even like you could cook fish on that.
Yeah, like maybe still keep the fabricator, but maybe make the ones you make with like a stove type item more effective and stuff.
Yeah.
Better nutritional values and stuff. Because they,
That could be interesting.
yeah. Isaac, is there anything you'd like to see in Subnautica 2
Um,
that
well,
isn't that isn't in
I
the
think the
first
big
game?
thing for me is multiplayer. We know
Yeah.
that's coming, so very pleased with that.
But is there any like mechanics or
Other than that,
features?
I hope we see.
Maybe sorry, I'm kind of interrupting you, but with say if you had two people being able to drive the same vehicle at once, or like
Yeah.
say if you had like the Cyclops is supposed to be a 3-man vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have something like that, the 2-man vehicle that has part of it somebody can drive and somebody can do something else
Yeah, that
at the same
Hmm.
time.
yeah, you guys haven't
Like
played.
sort of with Sea of Thieves, somebody stays and somebody starts turning around the sails.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys haven't played Cyberpunk, but there's a vehicle in the game, which only appears in a few sections, but it's essentially like a tank where it requires two pilots, one to man the guns, one to man the controls, so there's no neural overload. But yeah, something like so some maybe a vehicle kind of like that. Obviously not like a tank because if we had like a tank vehicle, that'd make.
I was trying to think of something that isn't violent, so to speak, because I
Yeah,
doubt they'd add that.
but maybe like
They
a.
might have like a torpedo launcher,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
with
Yeah.
the Seamoth, but
Maybe even like a resource gathering type thing or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Or ooh, a live species capturing device type thing. It's like you can pick up
that'd
some
be
things and
cool.
put them into
That would
aquarium.
be cool.
That would I would love actually like to see that because that's what I thought the aquarium module would be for the sea truck, but it was just yeah, it was just chuck a fish in it.
Have you guys talked about what you don't want to see?
What I don't want, well, we kind of did when we were talking about the crafting stations. I don't want to see being
Right.
able to craft vehicle mods in the regular fabricator again. That really
Hmm.
made having one of those quite redundant.
I hope we don't
But again,
see the sea
I thought
truck. I hate the sea truck, bro.
Is there a reason you hate the
So
sea
I
truck?
much.
hope I
It's
wanna
just like a shitter version of the Seamoth.
Yeah, that's fair.
I wanna add something to a crafting thing. I think it would be a good idea if you had to go to areas to craft certain things. Bit like
Hmm.
say if it was with the architects, I know there's probably not going to be architects in this game, but if it was, imagine if first game you have to go down to the architects, say where you collected the ion cubes, just to craft some stuff,
Oh yeah,
some sort of like that. I
because they've got
think
like
that would have been really cool.
yeah, because like that would make sense as well. Like Altera's fabricators don't recognize ion technology, so it makes
Yeah,
sense to look
Yeah.
for a native fabricator for that
And
sort of
then
stuff.
maybe later in
yeah,
the game you could get like a fabricator upgrade or something, like once you've almost completed it or once you have completed it. So you can craft that stuff at your base, but
Yeah.
after you've completed the
yeah,
story.
Well, there's a way they could do that. They should like find a architect base which stores the blueprints for an architect fabricator.
Hmm.
So they could do that. Would be a really nice feature that would add to the progression of the game.
hmm
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else did they. I'm just trying to think basically like in Below Zero what I didn't like, which they kind of changed from the first game. So obviously Isaac said he doesn't like the sea truck. I wouldn't mind a sea truck type of vehicle.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind the type, but I think the sea truck itself is it's too slow, I think,
Yeah, I agree.
um,
I did miss the
compared to the Seamoth.
yeah, I did miss the mobility of the Seamoth. It makes sense because it felt quite a bit smaller the map in Below Zero than the first one. So obviously you don't
Mm,
want to be able to zoom around that in like a couple minutes.
yeah.
But yeah, having a Seamoth type vehicle again would be better. And if they do what Harry'd like and have a much bigger map, then it would be
Yeah, I
kind of
do
a
hope they have a big
necessity.
map.
I'm really
especially for multiplayer.
yeah. One thing I
Yeah.
did and didn't like was the removal of the stasis rifle in Below
Yeah,
Zero.
I've got to admit, I didn't use it loads in Subnautica, but it is a fun thing to use.
Oh, I used it so much, and the only problem, I guess, is it kind of took away my fear from the Reapers because I killed like 8 of them in my playthrough because I had the stasis rifle.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe like a stun
If
gun,
you had like a yeah,
but it
like
wasn't
some
as
sort of thing similar to that, at least like could you have flares which like detract them,
yeah.
even if Did you have that in Below Zero?
Oh yeah, they're even
Flares,
more
at least.
important in Below Zero, I'd say,
Oh, right, great.
for a certain enemy type.
Um,
I'll let you figure that one out.
yeah, I'll come to that when I'm sure I'll need it. But yeah, I kind of support that actually. With although it is like a fun item,
hmm
it's just I find it completely overpowered,
Yeah. One change they
and it's
could
not
make.
even that. It's not even particularly difficult to make. Like you don't need an ion cube or anything.
Yeah, it's just I think magnetite's like the most difficult thing to get hold
Yeah,
of, and then the fragments, but that's it.
yeah,
Um, I guess one thing they
Mm,
could do is because obviously the stasis rifle affects unmanned vehicles and anything else basically. It doesn't affect the player. Maybe if it affected the player, that would make it a lot better.
yeah.
Because that way you can't get close up to these things and be able to like hit them and stuff. I think
yeah,
I think ultimately though, maybe different approaches to avoiding leviathans, like having multiple options, could be really nice.
Mm,
Like maybe one way is more suited to another creature. Like maybe I'm trying to think, because obviously sound is a big thing for the Reaper Leviathan. So maybe
yeah.
I'm trying to not get into spoilers for Below Zero. But okay, there's another enemy type in that game which is also attracted to sound. So there's an item you can craft which emits sound. So maybe something like that, but for underwater, could be nice. And that's a way you could avoid things like with distractions and stuff. Kind of like the decoys, but more specific. I think that
Yeah, I mean
is.
that could be interesting. I think
that's, that's
there's
pretty
a lot
cool.
of potential for this. So
hmm
we'll see what we'll see, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we
we
spoke
can
about
only go.
Subnautica for quite a while now, though.
Yeah.
Um, so what we've been up to,
hmm
Harry, this is the first time you've ever done this, so we'll let you go last.
Yeah. So
Um,
you can get an idea from me and
uh,
Isaac.
I'll go first. So
Yep.
what I've been up to recently, not a lot really. Um, I've been playing a bit of Subnautica. I played a bit of Cuphead earlier. Playing Siege with Harry. I'm still on Star Trek Online. Um,
You made some progress
and
today, didn't
Terraria. Yeah, like 1% progress out of the 100 I still have to go, but you know. And then other than that, I've not. I watched the first Transformers, the first Michael Bay Transformers film the other day. I quite liked that. I've watched it before, but rewatching it older, it's a different sort of, you know, to when you're watching it as a kid. Show
Absolutely.
wise, I spoke about last week how I finished Daryl Dixon, The Walking Dead. I won't say anything on that because I don't think you finished it, Harry. Um, but I haven't, watched it again or anything, so there's not really much to say. And other than that, I think the only other thing I've actually watched this week was, well, I say this week, it was last Sunday, was from episode 3, season 3. Um, I don't know what it is, but it's such a good show. There's another episode tonight. I'll probably watch it a few hours after we film this on Sunday. So yeah, next week I'll talk about that. The last week's episode though was amazing. All the episodes so far have been amazing. So I'd definitely recommend you watch that. But other than that, that's all I've been doing. So Daniel,
Yeah, well,
if you wanna tell us what you've been up to.
contrary to all my previous weeks, I've actually been up to quite a bit. I've been quite productive in terms of like entertainment. I so the first thing I did this week was I finished the entirety of Attack on Titan. I think I spoke about this last week, how I was like partway through it. I finished it this week and I see why people complain about the ending. I was not a fan of it because it ruined essentially the entire show, which is a shame because I really enjoyed a lot of it. But yeah, I won't get into spoiler territory in case. Actually, are either of you two interested in Attack on Titan at all?
No, I'm not bothered whatsoever.
Harry?
No, I'm
Yeah.
not particularly a fan.
Basic. Okay, basic. Spoiler warning for anyone who is interested in Attack on Titan. But basically, at the end of the show, it's revealed like oh, Eren already knew the outcome of the entire thing. And so he was just like kind of slowly marching towards it, which ruins his character reactions completely because it's like, how the fuck did he know and then was acting like this in like episodes 1 or 28 or season 2, episode 3 or just stuff like that. Like just random times if he knew what the ending was. And then there was also some bullshit about how he was discussing it with everyone like throughout times and then just erasing their minds of the conversation they had. And then it's all revealed at the end, like, oh, they all remember it now and stuff. It was just, and there's a bunch of other things I could get into, but that's my main big complaint.
Right.
I think
It
that is,
sounds a bit confusing.
yeah, it's a lot of bullshit. So yeah, I wasn't too happy with the end. Other than that, the rest of it was really good. My favorite season was probably 3. That was the most consistent with like really high quality arcs and stuff. Though my favorite arc was the last arc of season 1. So yeah, the female Titan arc, that was really good. But yeah, outside of TV shows though, because that's the only thing I've watched this last week. Games, I actually completed 2 games in the last couple of days. So as Isaac mentioned earlier in the Subnautica section, I beat Below Zero finally. Only took me like 3 months, but half of that was because I was locking myself behind recording schedules. But yeah, obviously didn't enjoy it as much as the first game, but it was still alright. I still had a lot of fun with it. There's a few features I liked, few features I didn't. I must say, the ending, I wasn't expecting it to all fly by that fast, but I won't get into spoilers for Harry's sake. But yeah, and then
I do agree with you on that.
yeah, and then the other
At the
thing
ending.
I beat was Little Nightmares 2. It took me a
Great
lot.
game.
Yeah, it was a really good game. I did really enjoy. I think I honestly prefer it to the first one. I'm not sure where you stand.
There are sections I sort of prefer, but I do prefer the first one overall.
Yeah, I mean
I have to admit.
I'd say they're both on a
They're
pretty
both
similar
great though,
level. Yeah.
like, yeah.
So it is just like it can just be give or take. Like which one's your favorite? You'll probably enjoy both a pretty similar amount. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
I played. I'm not sure. I had a few little issues with some things, like Mono, I believe the character's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she wouldn't like climb things even though I was trying my best, and she wouldn't pick things up even though I was right
Mono's a
next to her.
he.
Oh, was it? Oh, I thought it was a she.
Yeah, Mono's a he.
Okay, that's my bad. But yeah, they just wouldn't pick up things. It sounds like a girl when
Yeah,
he
that,
shouts.
did you play it on PC or console?
Played it on PC with a controller. I did play the
Because
enhanced edition.
that might be a thing with PC and controller because I didn't have any problems like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing.
There's a section on the first level, you know, the forest bit.
Yeah.
There's like a hat in a cage hanging from a tree I was trying to get. And there's some boxes you have to climb. I climbed it from a specific angle. All my movement controls stopped working. Every single one.
Ah,
So I had to restart from checkpoint. But yeah, so other than the issues, it might have been just because I was playing on the enhanced edition. I don't know. But yeah,
could have been.
I did really enjoy it though. Got a hell of a lot of screenshots towards the end. But yeah,
Fair enough.
and that has pretty much been my week. I've not watched any movies. I still need to finish watching the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring movie. I'll probably do that tonight. But yeah.
Yeah, Harry, this is probably the first and last time you may ever do this, but what have you been up to?
I can't remember. I've been doing loads this week. I've had a lot of uni work to be doing, but I've been playing a fair bit of Terraria. I've kind of slowed that down the past couple of days, but started that. I'm on almost near Pantera now.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Got that next to do. Been on playing Minecraft. I haven't been watching anything at all recently though. I have been watching The Rookie. I've been enjoying that. That's a pretty good show.
Oh yeah.
I did enjoy it when I watched
I've
it.
been wanting to watch that.
Yeah. It's a kind of just sit and chill out show. You don't need to pay attention loads, unlike some.
Yeah.
No, I ain't actually done anything this week.
That's completely fair if you've been busy with uni work and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Makes
suppose you guys don't want me to be talking about quantum physics lectures.
No, I'm already
No.
suffering on trying to 3D model stuff in my uni course, so yeah, don't need that. Yeah, no, right.
I think unless anybody else has got any little bits of news we might have missed or anything,
No,
I think we're done for this week.
yeah, I'm pretty dry on anything else, so yeah.
So, yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Next week we should return back to normal with Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great having you on, Harry. We appreciate you on such short
Yeah,
notice.
thank you very
It's been a
much.
pleasure. It's been a wonderful pleasure.
I hope you
Yes,
have
thank you
enjoyed.
for thank you. Thank
Have me
you.
back anytime, Nathan
Very-
Zill.
Yep, will do.
we will. If it fits in with your college and what uni and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, record every.
I'll make time. Don't worry.
Just walking up to the lecturer.
But,
Sorry, mate, got AFK podcast to record.
Thanks everybody for watching. Remember, next week we have another indie game I'll be talking about, which I've played. Next week we'll also have Nathan back, and let's hope we get some good news this week. So yeah, I said it 3 times already, but thanks everybody for watching.
Yep,
We'll
thanks,
see you
man.
next week. Have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.
Bye.